All right, we are live. Let's see who else is alive out there tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. I'm going to take a drink and see if we get some viewers joining us tonight. I see there's already a couple people watching. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Yes, it is the first Monday of October. It is Monday, October 5th, 2020. If you're new to this, my name is Matt Arts. I am the editor in chief at Halloween Daily News. This is our weekly celebration of all things Michael Myers. If you follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, you know the hashtag Michael Myers Monday. We've been doing it for years. Well, we've brought the party here to YouTube. This is, I believe, the ninth week consecutively that we've been doing this. I can't believe it's been that many already. But hello, Phil. Good to see you. Phil's been here, and if you're coming back, welcome back. If you're a returning viewer, if you're new, welcome for the first time. Like I was saying, this is Michael Myers Monday. I'm Matt. We're going to go over the week's news in Michael Myers. We're going to talk about the late, great Donald Pleasence because today is his birthday, as many of you know. And I'm going to pay a little tribute to him and just talk about just a few of the things that we love about Donald Pleasence and specifically his performance as Dr. Sam Loomis in the Halloween films. And I'm going to get all that here in just a few minutes. Like I said, we are cheers, Mitchell. Mitchell, you've been here every single week. I was just saying this is our ninth week in a row doing this. I can't believe I made it this long. I don't know how consecutive, how long. All right, I think we're back. We lost connection there for a minute. I apologize for that. That may happen again. I don't know. That's only the second time that's happened in the last 9 weeks, but it happened again. So I apologize, and it may. If so, just bear with me. And again, welcome back. I see Dimitri has joined us. Hello, man. Welcome. Phil, Mitchell. Good to see everybody. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I'm going to take another drink of my Michael Myers mango twist. And again, it just works for me to kind of follow a similar format that we've been doing the last few weeks. So I've been doing a show and tell of some of our products we've got in the store right now available. You see, I've got this guy here with me again. I'm going to talk about him again because, quite frankly, they are selling like crazy. We didn't have many to begin with, and we've only got a very few left. So I don't think I'm going to have them here to talk about very much longer. But this is, you've heard me talk about it before. This is the Trick or Treat Studios officially licensed Halloween 1978 Michael Myers Deluxe mask. This is the full head mask. As you can see, there's the official tag right there. Trick or Treat logo. And again, we've got I think about 3 of these left in stock, literally. So if you were on the fence, if you're thinking about it, now's the time. We're not going to have very many. I probably within the next week or two, those 3 will go, and then I don't know when we're going to have more. We will have more eventually, but not before Halloween, obviously. So if you're suiting up as Michael and you need a 78, or if you're a collector and you don't own this one yet, you've got to have it. Again, this is not styled the way you would necessarily do it. You can see the hair is just kind of like it is right out of the box, right out of the plastic. But you can see this is the real deal. Not the Boogeyman version. This is just the straight 78. We've got the Boogeyman in stock as well. And again, these guys are $60 plus shipping. They're going fast. We only got a few this year. It was sculpted by Justin Mabry, who worked on Halloween 2018 on Christopher Nelson's team that also included Vincent Van Dyke and a number of artists and special effects artists, mask artists, to create the 2018 mask. Justin does all of the masks for Trick or Treat Studios up to the 2018. So again, I just wanted to bring him down here, give him a little more screen time here. Michael Myers Monday, and as we are celebrating Dr. Loomis and Halloween '78 again, I thought it'd only be fitting that we complete the '78 package because we do still have a few of these left in stock. This is the officially licensed Halloween 1978 Michael Myers Butcher Knife. This is the thick foam version, and it is not it is pretty hard. It's pretty hardcore. I mean, you could it's not sharp obviously, but it's got some good weight to it, and it's not like mushy foam, like memory foam type stuff. You know, this is the hard foam that you want. And so if you're gonna have the mask and you're gonna do the '78 Michael, you want to complete it, whether it's for your costume or if it's for, you know, the collector's shelf. In my case, it's both. So, and this one still on the card, as you can see, in the back packaging, shot of Nick Castle from the '78 film. Yeah. So again, you can find all of this stuff right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. And the one other thing I was going to show you from the shop that I haven't brought on here, down here for a Monday yet, this is something just a little bit different, and I didn't even know how many of these we've got. We've got just a very few of them still left in stock. This is also from Trick or Treat Studios, of course. This is the Halloween 2 Vacuform mask. Obviously not meant to be screen accurate. It's, you know, everything in the movies is full head, obviously. This is the face mask. You know, again, it's for the collectors. It's for people that want, you know, it's kind of Trick or Treat's version of a throwback to the Ben Cooper or Collegeville vintage Halloween style masks. And these, it's super lightweight. It's Vacuform technology. That's how it's made. And again, it's licensed as a Halloween 2, but as you can see, it's super clean. It's basically a Halloween 1. And you know, also if you've got, you know, if it's a kid, you know, a young person that wants to wear the mask, or you know, this is a lot more convenient and not as hot for a lot of kids sometimes, and they should be able to be Michael as well. I've got one. It hangs on the wall. It looks beautiful, just hanging on the wall. It's got just a nice thin black strap on it, and yeah, these are super affordable as well. I was going to get you a exact price on that because I'm drawing a blank how much they retail for right now. Yeah, $13 for this, for the Vacuform. $13, the H2 Vacuform. And again, you know, it's a throwback. It's like, what if, you know, this mask was, you know, the old school Vacuform plastic style that we all grew up with. So again, we've got just a very few of these left in stock. That's $13. And again, the '78 mask. And the knife I showed you, that is $15 plus shipping. So we've got all those products right now. It's the first week of October. I don't think they're going to make it to the end of October. That's part of the reason I wanted to bring this stuff out here right now and let you see some of what we do have in stock. So there is a little bit of news to talk about. Mitchell says, "Cheers, cheers." I'm going to try to take a breather and have a drink and a cheers every now and then, especially now that we're into October and it's Donald Pleasence's 101st birthday. Dimitri says, "Damn, I need one." Which one? The face mask or the knife? We've got both. Again, these suckers, we don't have many of either of the masks. All the masks are going quick. We got a decent number of the Boogeyman '78s still in. And the 2018s, of course, are going quick too. All right, so it is the first Monday in October. There has been a little bit of news, um, mostly related to more merch. I talked about this last week. This is a great time to be a Myers fan. I mean, on one hand, yes, we don't get the new film we were all looking forward to this year. There's that. That sucks. But on the other hand, there's more Michael Myers related stuff out there for sale and available, be it officially licensed stuff or independent artists doing their spin on stuff. There's so much out there. And so last Tuesday, a lot of you know, and I know a lot of you know because a lot of you have posted about it on social media, the Steelbook Collector's Edition of Halloween 78 was released. It was officially released on September 29th, which was last Tuesday. And it's an exclusive to Best Buy. And it's pretty affordable. It's just $20. It comes with the Blu-ray, and we determined it does come with digital, which is pretty awesome to have the H78 available on digital. And of course, the Steelbook packaging is the real attraction for collectors that have to own every version, which I totally get and I totally understand. The cover art is pretty wicked. It's by Phantom City Creative, and it features Michael on the front and Laurie on the back. Again, you can see it and order it right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Just hit Steelbook in the search bar, and that'll bring it right up. Now, there's other merch news all over the place. And a lot of it, more t-shirts. There's so many Michael Myers t-shirts out there right now. Fright Rags, they just did an awesome H4, H5 set. Just last week, I talked about Gutter Garbs did their own H4, H5 set. Now, apparently, and I don't even know how these licenses work, how the two companies, but I guess Terra Threads still has license for 78 t-shirts because they just restocked a bunch of their Halloween 1978 t-shirts, 4 to be exact. And they're all pretty awesome. One notable one you've probably seen around social media. It's Michael in the Nick Castle pose, but he's ripping off the mask and it's got the clown mask underneath. And it's titled Purely and Simply Evil. There's another one called Scared to Death, which is Michael in the sheets from Laurie's point of view up at the window. There's He's Gonna Get You, which is, it's got Loomis and Laurie on the other side with her knife and Michael and the fall leaves in the center. And then there's one that features the opening credits jack-o'-lantern prominently and Michael at the top of the stairs and the closet scene. And it is titled Smith's Grove Curse t-shirt. Again, all these are from our friends at TerraThreads.com. You can find those 4 re-releases. We also learned Gutter Garbs just recently. I mentioned them last week with the H4, H5 set that they put out. They also have teased that they've got new Halloween 3 designs, t-shirt designs, that they're going to be unveiling in 2 days, this Wednesday, on October 7th. They posted that today, that they are going to be unveiling new Halloween 3 designs from Gutter Garbs. So again, the whole franchise getting more love than ever, and no shortage of apparel that we can all sport and wear and rock our love of this awesome franchise that we all love. So how's everybody doing tonight? There are a few other news items I'm going to get to. This one I actually posted about on HalloweenDailyNews.com, an article today, because I was so impressed with this collection from artist Matthew Therian. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if not. But yeah, he is on Instagram. It is MT Illustration at Instagram, and you can find him. Matthew Therian Illustration is his Facebook page. That's what I call it at home. Uh, so yeah, you might have saw this if you're a subscriber to the site, but he has done 11 expressionistic style original paintings of Michael Myers, 11 different ones from all of the different films. And basically, how it breaks down is he's got two from John Carpenter's Halloween and two from Rob Zombie's Halloween. And there's not one technically from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. But with from representing the Rob Zombie films, he's got the main mask and then the escape mask, the orange jack-o'-lantern escape mask that Michael uses in that film when he breaks out of Smith's Grove. And then other than that, yeah, you've got the Ghost Bob, the Ghost Michael from 78. You've got the straight 78. You've got Halloween 2, 4, 5, Curse, H2O, Resurrection, and of course 2018 is represented as well. These are some wicked awesome posters. They're done, like I said, in expressionistic style. He is selling Gickley prints, and at I've put the link below of where you can find more information, basically at HalloweenDailyNews.com. It's on the site right now. I just published that story today about his artwork, and you're gonna see it all over social media because it's amazing work. It's beautiful, and you definitely want to support Matthew and everything that he's doing. Also, at the same time, we have, because wall art, again, keeping the theme going, our friends at Spook House Studios have announced that they have a new Halloween 1978 poster that they're going to be releasing this month on October 16th. And again, you can find them on social media at Spook House Studios. I've talked about them before. They actually sent us that awesome Silver Shamrock poster right up there. I don't know if you can see it in this video. Probably not, but it's badass. Trust me. And anyway, they haven't done the full reveal yet. It's not available for pre-order at this moment, but it's something to keep an eye out. They do great work. And I told you a few weeks ago about the H3 posters. They also have restocked something else I've talked about before, but I just love it because it's one of my favorite, just most unique collectibles that I own. This is from Spook House Studios. What it is this is the Strode Realty Myers House key replica. Again, I brought it on here a few weeks ago. I'm going to show it off again, give them another shout out because they just restocked a limited supply of these. And I've talked about it before. You can see you got the Strode Realty rubber keychain. You got the evidence tag and an actual metal key to the Myers house. They just restocked those keys on their website, spookhousestudios.com, and give them a follow on Instagram, and tell them where you heard about them if you hear about them here first, because we always like to spread the word about Michael Myers Monday, and we want this influence to continue to grow, and we want to support our friends. Also, another friend, another independent artist out there, our friends at Creepy Carves Design. This is actually Austin Hinderleiter, who is the artist who did the H3 posters for Spook House. Now he's got his own brand he is promoting called Creepy Carves Design. They're also on Instagram. They're also on Facebook and throughout social media. And his website is creepycarves.com. Be sure to check them out. And again, I'll put a link in the description of this video. He has announced that he also is putting out 2 posters this month, excuse me. One from Halloween 2, another one from Halloween 3. And they are going to be released also this week, October 9th. So what's that? That's Thursday. or Friday. So that's going to be released October 9th. So that's Creepy Carves. And again, he has not fully revealed what these posters look like, but he's put a little teaser image out there on his Instagram, and I can tell they look great. And just being a fan of his work from his previous work with Spook House, also his current poster out right now, it might be his first under the Creepy Carves name, is it's a trick or treat poster, and it's got Sam and a lot of the characters from that film, and it's a really beautiful, awesome Sam poster. And I own that. I'm actually going to do a different video about that. That's not a Michael Myers video. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a Trick or Treat Tuesday one of these days or something. But so check those guys out. Creepy Carves Design, Spook House Studios, and Matthew Therian. They're all doing amazing work right now, and again, just making it a crazy awesome time to be a Myers fan. Except for we're all going to go broke because there's just so much out there. But you got to support these guys, especially right now with everything going on in this world. So how's everybody doing tonight? Phil says, hanging in there. Awesome. Well, hopefully this week will be a good one for you. Hopefully this will, if Monday, that's part of why we do this, is because Mondays tend to suck for most of us, but at least we can have Michael Myers Monday to look forward to a little bit and kick back and enjoy it. All right, so let's talk about today being the birthday of the late, great Donald Pleasence. Let's talk about Donald Pleasence and how amazing he was as Dr. Loomis. How nobody else could play that role but him, and nobody else will ever match it. We've talked about before the possibility of, maybe if they did a Halloween TV series, call it Haddonfield, call it Smith's Grove, maybe just call it Sanitarium. Let it be young Loomis, maybe other patients, Michael in the background. We've talked about that before on here. I would be all for that, but it would not be a thing. It would be a thing like Bates Motel, where you're not trying in any way to mimic or recreate or duplicate what he did, because obviously it couldn't be done. So today is what would be the 101st birthday of Donald Pleasence, born October 5th, 1919. It's crazy. Over a century ago. So let's just let that sink in for a minute. And feel free to tell me your favorite Dr. Loomis quote. I asked this on Twitter earlier today. I'm going to read a few of the responses we got. We didn't get a ton, but I'm gonna read just a couple of the good ones. But I'd love to hear from you to get this started, this tribute to Donald Pleasence. What's your favorite Dr. Loomis line? He's pretty much got all the best lines in all those films. So you tell me that, and I'm gonna have a drink and toast to Mr. Pleasence. Phil agrees. He was a very good actor, and he is excuse me. He is missed. He's very missed. Yeah. I think that's what you're saying. He's very missed. Yeah, he is so missed. Of course, he starred in 5 of the first 6 Halloween films, as you all know. I don't need to tell you guys this. We've talked about before how he brought such gravity to the films. Let's see. Noah Lara says hello. Hello. Welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thank you for joining us. We're just talking about Dr. Loomis, our favorite Dr. Loomis quotes, and paying tribute to the great Donald Pleasence. Yeah, so I asked on Twitter what your favorite quote is, and we did get a few responses. There are so many, though. He does get the best lines. And I've talked about it before, how Loomis truly does ground the films and also makes Michael Myers scary. I think our first week we touched on some of that about how it's Loomis and his dialogue and how he's portrayed by Donald Pleasence that truly sets the stage for Michael and the evil to come. So, a couple examples of the quotes. Let's see. Noah, is it Noah or no? No, Laura. Can we agree that Halloween 4 had one of the best ending ever? Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Halloween 4, the ending is pretty much what makes the movie, in my opinion. And yes, it is one of the best in the entire franchise. Maybe even probably the best ending other than the original 1978 ending. And again, as we're paying tribute to Donald Pleasance, his reaction to looking up there, as we're talking about the ending to H4, um, Loomis's reaction is what sells it and what gives me chills every time I watch it. I've got chills now just thinking about it. It's Loomis's reaction looking up there and seeing Jamie Lloyd holding that knife and seeing, oh my God, it's happening again. It's starting all over. How could this have happened? And it's just chilling in today as much as it was then. So yes, absolutely, H4 has one of the best endings ever. And again, I would make an argument for it being, like I said, probably the best ending in this franchise other than the 78. I mean, the ending makes that movie. I mean, whatever faults it has, the ending is what really makes it. And I think everybody loves the opening credits too, honestly. The opening and ending are two of the strongest parts of that film. But absolutely. I can agree. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do the rest of you think? Mitchell says Dr. Loomis tells Sheriff Brackett his story in the Myers house sets the legendary tone for the film. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it sets the tone for the film. It sets the tone for Michael going forward, really, as this unstoppable killing machine, this thing with no reason, no sympathy, the blackest eyes. You're absolutely right. It sets the tone for all of that. Yeah, that's totally. Let's see. Karen on Twitter. Karen, I'm gonna mispronounce this. Karen Sehulik Eichener. Sorry, Karen, but Karen says death has come to your little town, Sheriff. It's hard to beat that one. It encapsulates again. It's a tagline for the film. It encapsulates everything right there, and the delivery is just so matter of fact and brilliant on the part of Donald Pleasance. Jeremy Armitage on Twitter. He says, I prayed he would burn in hell, but in my heart I knew hell would not have him. More H4 love. Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to love that line too. It's it it's iconic, absolutely, and it again gives that tone of Michael. It's Loomis painting it in the original and carrying through the sequels. It's him that constantly is that uh, grim reminder, that dark overtone of that this is an unstoppable force. This is not a man in a mask. This is not just some maniac in a mask. This is a thing that is unstoppable and ancient evil, and not most people just shrug their shoulders and say he's crazy. Tommy Doyle is the one other character in the original that really is kind of like, hey, what's the boogeyman? I think the boogeyman's out there. Let's see. Visuri at Visuri AE. So many other gems to pick from. Yeah, that's what we're saying. There's so many. So they give us 4 to pick from. Yeah, he was doing very well last night. Maybe someone around here gave him lessons.
That's a great one. He's gone. He's gone from here. The evil is gone. Again, like we're talking about, setting that stage and already painting Michael as something greater, something grander than just a, a psychopath. I mean, he is a force. And it's those lines by Loomis and how they're delivered with the sincerity and the urgency that he delivers them. Still on Vasuri, she says, "Hey Lonnie, get your ass away from there." Again, that's one of my favorite parts of the film too, because it's Loomis kind of having fun. And what does he do for fun? The second he gets a chance, he plays a little trick on the little kid. And yeah, it's Lonnie. Lonnie's an asshole. He deserves it. So we're all along for it. And Loomis doesn't even know quite that he's an asshole. But uh, but again, I just always think that's interesting that Michael, at the end of the day, especially in that original film, he's a trickster. You know, he could just murder these kids quickly and less complicated. But everything he does in that film is to mess with them, especially Laurie specifically. And so he's playing tricks. And it's just interesting that the hero, the nemesis, Dr. Loomis, the one little bit of personal pleasure he gets in that film is when he scares Lonnie, and you see that honest smile. And then, the genius of Carpenter and Deborah Hill, how do they follow that up? But by the tricker getting scared himself, and here comes Sheriff Brackett. So I mean, just we could go on and on, but I mean, just a great scene. And then of course the classic, also from Vasuri, they say, "You don't know what death is." And yeah, I mean, even though it's Halloween 2 and it's not 78, if I'm gonna go favorite line, whole line of the whole franchise, I might have to pick that one for myself. As far as my favorite Loomis line, period, of the whole franchise, the "You don't know what death is." I just I love that opening to H2. I always did. I always loved how it picks up literally 1 second after 78 ends. That was always one of my favorite parts about the sequel, and just that opening. I've been trick or treated to death, and you don't know what death is. I mean, so I love that line personally myself. So, but you guys tell me what are your favorite Dr. Loomis lines? Phil says, "Love that saying." Yeah, Mitchell. Yeah. Mitchell agrees that the Halloween 2 intro of "You don't know what death is," and yeah, I mean, how can you not love that line? Again, it is exactly setting the stage very much for "Death has come to your little town, sheriff." That's 78 in a nutshell. And in that opening scene of Halloween 2, we have Loomis again, as we're recognizing here, setting the tone with the perfect tagline for what we're about to see in the sequel, which is "You don't know what death is." Death came to the little town. Now we're going to learn we don't even know what death is. It's about to get ratcheted up considerably. And that's what they do in the sequel. That's exactly what Halloween 2 does. It's more death. And so, yeah, easily Loomis is the character that brings the depth of evil to the whole mythology of this series of Michael Myers. He paints the character. And especially in that original film, I was thinking about it today, part of the genius of it all is that it's Loomis, the hero, who informs us, the viewer, how powerfully and unsympathetically and unstoppably evil Michael is. And in doing so, that way Carpenter doesn't have to be the one to scream that to us by showing us everything. That's how we don't even have to see a close up of Michael or any lingering shots until really it's until he's on the phone. And that shot when he's on the phone is the first time the camera kind of lingers and you get your first really good shot of the mask. Um, and I think but Loomis has set the stage. By then, we are just so enraptured and we are so ready to see oh my God, what is this evil being? And it's this blank white mask on the phone. So I, you know, I can't say enough about the performance of Donald Pleasance. We know that he, he was a known actor at the time. John Carpenter has said that he was scared of Donald Pleasance because he was a new filmmaker and he was in awe of this already iconic talent. And but he took it serious, and God bless him. I mean, all the way up through Curse of Michael Myers to come back and do all those sequels. I mean, just and every time turning in amazing performances. You cannot never discount. And all those films, Loomis is perfect, and Loomis is Loomis, and it's him returning and being so good at what he does that I think is the connective tissue that brings us the viewers back for those first six films, at least the five that he's in of those six. See, Mitchell says, love how he cuts Charlie Bowles off in mid sentence when he starts talking about those goddamn kids. Dr. Loomis says, where are we? Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. And I don't know if you had a chance to check out my John Carpenter interview from a few weeks ago when we mentioned Charlie Bowles, but I did get the real story of Charlie Bowles and where the inspiration of that little tidbit of a story came from Carpenter himself. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, HalloweenDailyNews.com, and then just search John Carpenter interview in the search bar, and it'll come right up. Speaking of interviews, of course, I've never interviewed Donald Pleasance. I never got to meet the man. He'd be one of the few on a short list of celebrities that aren't with us anymore that I would love, to be able to spend 5 minutes with, just to meet, just to, you know, tell him how much he means. And another aspect that I love, going back just to the character of Loomis, is that name, of course, as you all know, or certainly you should know if you're watching this, the name Sam Loomis goes back to the Psycho link, and that was the hero character played by John Gavin, I think it was, in the original, in Hitchcock's Psycho. His name was Sam Loomis. And so he was always named after that. And then, of course, coincidentally, Nancy Loomis, who plays Annie, she had the same last name. And so a lot of weird coincidences. And of course, the Psycho love was culminated with Jamie Lee Curtis being cast in the lead role, where her mom, Janet Leigh, of course, led Psycho. So there's tons of links there. And then the legacy of Loomis goes on and on. You can see it all over the place. Probably, though, most notably in Scream with the character of Billy Loomis. And then later on in that franchise with Billy's mom, Mrs. Loomis. But mostly with Billy and with the name. Uh, and it's just a cool name, Dr. Loomis. So, but when I interviewed Kyle Richards back in 2013, we didn't talk much about Donald Pleasance, but she did mention how because she was 8 at the time they were filming Halloween, and she plays Lindsay Wallace. If you don't know, of course, if you're watching this, you should know who Kyle Richards is. And yes, it's the same Kyle Richards on The Real Housewives and all that. But again, all you guys, I'm sure, are well aware of all that. So she talked about how being so young, she'd already been in a number of films and been on a number of sets. And they were very businesslike and all. And she remembered the Halloween being very warm and inviting, and Jamie Lee Curtis being very Laurie-like in actually like picking her up at one point and carrying her somewhere, and just being very kind of watching over them. And part of that made it very warm and just kind of nice for her as a child. She told me she remembered already knowing Donald Pleasance, because if you remember, they did work together in the Disney film Escape to Witch Mountain prior to Halloween. And so they had already a good relationship and knew each other. And also, that same year, I interviewed Brian Andrews, who plays Tommy Doyle, of course. And again, we talked about all kinds of stuff, and I will share links to these interviews. Actually, these two interviews I've got. I'll put the links in the description if they're not already down there. But my interview with Brian, I asked him what his favorite scene in the film is, and Mitchell, you'll like this. He mentioned the graveyard scene. He mentioned three scenes, but he singled out the graveyard scene, and this is what he says. He says, "I love the scene at the graveyard with Donald Pleasence and Arthur Mallet because it's like two of the most hammy British actors trying to upstage each other. To this day, I want to know how in the world John got some of his small supporting cast. Everybody in this movie was a professional actor. Nobody was an amateur. Nobody was a first timer." And of course, Brian was uh, probably around age 10 or so as well. Uh, and then specifically about the favorite scene, he continues. Brian says, "quote I guess I'd have to go for the graveyard scene because I like humor." And he adds to that, he says, "I like the scene with Dr. Wynn. I like the scene on at the phone booth because Donald just kept on rolling even though the train was coming. I love that. Those would be my three favorite scenes and the opening credits." And yeah, he loves the opening credits because of the pumpkin and the simplicity and the artistry of that. But again, those Donald scenes, and they are, it is funny, like we were just talking about in that graveyard scene where he cuts off Charlie Bowles, and a lot of us, for 40 some years have been saying, well, what's the rest of that story about Charlie Bowles? And what, again, check out my John Carpenter interview though, because I did get a little bit of that addressed and answered. Um, Also, another interview I did. Let's see. Mitchell says Donald said the lines were over melodramatic, but he said it's John's film, and I will use my talent to bring the doctor character. Yes, yeah, I've seen that interview where he said that, and yeah, that's what he did exactly. And they were over melodramatic if you think about it. They were almost ridiculous on the page, but the way he delivered it and the way Carpenter and they edited it and adding the music and everything else they did, it worked in a way that it was just magic in a bottle. So yeah, one other interview, and again, there's actually a video on our channel, and I'll put a link to that down below too, where it's got I believe Don Shanks and some of the sequel cast members discussing working with the great Donald Pleasence. I think I've got some video of Charles Cyphers talking about working with him, and I'll put those links down below too. But one just funny little story that I always thought was really cool that Don Shanks told me, and you've probably heard him tell it other times. I don't know, but he said that when they were working together, well, I'll just read you his quote. This is Don Shanks, my 2015 interview with him at Flashback Weekend on working with Donald Pleasence in Halloween 5. Don Shanks says, quote, "He was great. We were doing the scene right after I kill Wendy, and I was wrapped for the night. There's a scene where the ambulances come, and he has a dialogue with Michael. He came to my dressing room, and I was getting ready to leave, and he said, 'Might I ask a favor of you? Could I impose on you to just be there when I say that,' meaning that dialogue. 'I just want to know that you're out there.'" And Don Shanks said, "Of course." And I asked him, did he, suit up as Michael? And no, it was just Don out there. But it was the whole thing. And the scene after the ambulances leave, and Loomis has kind of his moment talking to Michael. You don't really see Michael, and Loomis it's a really emotional moment in the middle of the craziness of H5, which is kind of all over the place, complete with the clown noises for the two cops and everything. But this is a really uh, kind of solemn moment almost, and it's classic Loomis, of course. So I just always thought that was kind of cool that Don Shanks is actually out there, so that Donald Pleasence could act to him, even though they couldn't see each other. Donald couldn't really see him; he was off screen. We couldn't see him certainly. Uh, and but just how nice, how nicely that Donald asked, might I impose on you? And then also Don Shanks being awesome and saying, of course. And so I just always like that story from the set of H5. And I'm sure I've talked to other cast members about working with Donald Pleasence. These were just some of the notable uh, interviews that I pulled up tonight in thinking about how to pay tribute to the man, and yeah, just thinking about how, as I've said, it's Loomis's gravity that paints the mythology that becomes Michael Myers for all of us. And it's the connective tissue through all of those early movies, right up through the 90s until H2O. And honestly, when you think about it, after Curse, then it becomes H2O. And that's, there's no Loomis, but Laurie's back. And then there's Resurrection. And it's kind of Laurie's back again, but not really. And that's kind of its own thing. Then there's the remake, its sequel, and then we're back to 2018 where it's kind of H2O territory of Laurie's back, and so it's not underestimating it to say that things have never been the same since Donald Pleasence died. I mean, truly, he did make those through those first six films what they are, and I would go even further to say he made the franchise what it is. Without him, uh, you know, without any of the spokes of the wheel of 78, the 78 film could not have happened. And without that happening, none of the rest of this would have ever happened. But I think he was absolutely a key part of that, and more than just one spoke in that wheel, so to speak. He was, you know, uh, a huge reason that that film connected with audiences, and him playing those lines the way John wanted, knowing, yeah, this feels ridiculous. I've seen interviews, read interviews with him, but the professional that he is, he did it. And then that great look at the end of the film. I'm sure you've all heard John tell the story about, you know, Donald asking him, "How do you want me to play this?" I could play it as, "I'm surprised that Michael's not down there after I shot him," or I can play it as, "I knew this would happen." And and of course, if you've heard the story, I'm not spoiling anything, but John says, "Can you give it to me both ways? Can we do it both ways?" And they did. They shot it both ways, and in the editing, uh, you can see that the one he chose was, "I knew this was going to happen," and because that was clearly, Loomis knew, and Tommy knew, and I always say that they're the characters that set Michael up for this being this immortal, evil, unstoppable force that he goes on to be in those sequels. And again, you can check out my interview with Carpenter. Not to keep bringing it up, but I mean, I asked him straight up: "Is Michael a man in a mask? Is he supernatural?" The official answer: he's both, which is what we get in these movies. It's not going to make sense and fit in a perfect box, and it's not supposed to. Mitchell says, "My wife wants to vacation in Kill Devil Hills next year. Maybe we can share a drink. 2021. Yes. Sounds good, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let me know. Let me know when you're coming down here to KDH. Where are you guys located at?" So yeah, I could go on and on. You guys feel free to join in on the chat or leave a comment down below. Give me your favorite quote, your favorite Loomis quote from any of the films. I tell you, it wasn't Donald playing him in the voiceover in 2018, but I did love. I mean, whoever they got to do the voiceover, you could tell it wasn't Donald, but I did really like it, and I liked that moment of as far as Loomis quotes. It's not a Donald quote, but as far as Loomis quotes, I do love that moment in the 2018 film where he said, "It has to die. It needs to die." Uh, I'm forgetting which one it is, but you know the scene I mean, and but that's not Donald, so we're not even gonna Going to go there tonight. This is in honor of the man himself, Mitchell. Okay, Charleston. Okay, cool, awesome, awesome. So you've probably been to all the filming sites, the 2018 uh, filming locations and everything. Because yeah, you come here, yeah, we'll have a drink here in KDH. I'm gonna get down there to Charleston here sooner or later, and you can show me around all the filming locations. We want to go down there at some point and check it all out. How's everybody else doing tonight? Looks like we got a few more viewers in here for our weekly live chat. Don't be shy. Yep. I think this is the ninth week, Mitchell. I can't believe it. You've been here every single week. I don't know how many of the rest of you, but we seem to be getting a few more each week. I'm certainly enjoying this still. Hopefully, I'm a little tiny bit better than I was 9 weeks ago, and and again, I don't know how long the live thing every single Monday will go on, but I plan to definitely go through this month and see where we're at in November. And who knows, maybe at a certain point, I might have to take a break for a few weeks, or it might just be when there's news, and then we'll pick it up next year. It might be a pre-recorded version at some point. I don't know, or we might just keep going like this for the foreseeable future. I don't know, but I look forward to it, and again, I'm here doing it live to mainly to connect to you guys and to hear from you guys and to communicate in a slightly different way, and yeah, just to celebrate Myers and the franchise and bring what we do at HalloweenDailyNews.com here to YouTube in a different format. So thanks again for watching. I think that concludes our weekly broadcast here. Again, I love to hear from you guys. If I missed your comment or your chat, please leave it down below. Leave another comment, and I'll try to get to it next week. Reach out to us anytime. You can always contact me directly on the contact page at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Just hit contact, fill out the form, or you can just drop a message on one of these videos. I'll see it and drop me a line that way. Of course, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you're already a subscriber. But if you haven't, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to our channel. If you like what you see here on Mondays, be sure to share these videos, spread the word to your fellow Myers fanatics, your Myers maniacs. Let them all know that this is where it's at on YouTube on Monday nights for Myers Maniacs. And yeah, we're into October now. We got 3 more Mondays this month before October 31st. So as far as Myers news, as far as HK, Halloween Kills, is something going to happen this week, this month? I don't know. It might. It might. I think there's a good chance something is going to happen. I've been saying maybe a 30-second teaser similar to what we got with the delay announcement. But I don't know. We'll see. We're going to be here every Monday this month, though, to dissect it, whatever it is. And I look forward to going over it in detail with all you guys, whatever it is, whenever it is. And if it's not this month for some reason, whenever that happens. Maybe they'll wait until the first week of November to release a teaser. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, hey, here's a November 1st thing. That'd be unexpected, but it'd be a good way to get the film trending on a day where nobody else is going to be talking about Halloween, but we will, and you guys will. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I've been yapping for, it looks like, almost an hour now. Once again, I didn't necessarily plan to go this long, but thank you for sticking it out for this marathon if you have. And if you're watching this after the fact, we'll be back here at 10:31 p.m. East Coast time next Monday. And in 2 weeks, it's October 19th. And I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing, but I'm planning to do something special for in celebration because that's the 2 year anniversary exactly of Halloween 2018. That's in 2 weeks. So that night, we're going to have to make it all about the 2018 film. Um, and whatever news may or may not be happening that given week. We'll have to wait and see. Um, so Mitchell says, I hope David Gordon Green releases original trailer. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be, I don't anticipate it's going to be a trailer per se, like a 2, 3 minute. Um, Again, just judging from what they've done before, when they wrapped filming last year, they put out like a 30-second behind the scenes thing of behind the scenes clips. And then this year, when they announced that release date delay, the change to next year, they gave us the 30-second let it burn uh, tease. If I was gonna bet money, and I'm not gonna bet money because this franchise is anything but predictable. But if I was gonna bet money, I'd say it's gonna be something similar to that. Yeah, 45 seconds. I could see that. I could see 45 seconds. You mean his original teaser or trailer that they were going to release before the delay? Yeah, that you know, again, anything's possible. 45 seconds, I could see. I've been saying 30 seconds. 31 seconds maybe would be the perfect amount. I don't think they'll listen to us on that. But yeah, maybe more behind the scenes footage, which I wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean, maybe give us a few set interviews, maybe a few pieces of the key cast talking about what's to come, their excitement, a few tidbits, a few little clips we haven't seen yet, maybe. That could be cool. Maybe 45 seconds. Half of it is clips, half of it's behind the scenes. Uh, or maybe they give us a couple minutes of behind the scenes interviews slash hype and cap it off with like maybe a scene, a 30-second scene, just a bit of a scene, not a whole scene even. Again, we got a long ways to go. We got a whole year to go. They're sitting Star Wars. They're not going to give us a whole trailer a year in advance. I don't think. I don't expect. But I do expect they're going to give us something. I'd be surprised if the entire month goes by and there's no release of anything. Not maybe it'll be a poster, maybe a tease. I don't know. But whatever it is, we'll be here to discuss it. Michael Myers Monday live. Thanks again, everybody. Leave your comments down below, please. Share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and you can always learn more about everything I've talked about at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Gotta always plug the home base. All right, guys. Mitchell says, I heard February 20th. Yes, I think that's probably. Oh, hopefully I didn't unplug that. I think that is when they're going to film. Winter, early next year. And February sounds reasonable. And yeah, you're down there in Charleston, so you might get word if they're filming down in Charleston before. I've got feelers out here in North Carolina thinking. So I don't know. But you keep me informed if you hear something, Mitchell. You're my ears on the ground down there in Charleston now. All right, everybody. Pour one out for the great Mr. Donald Pleasence on his 101st birthday. Celebrate the heroism and fearlessness of Dr. Loomis, the light of Dr. Loomis in the face of ultimate pure evil. Be like Loomis. We can cheer Michael for pretend, but in life, be like Loomis in life. You know what I mean? All right, guys. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for watching. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody.